in June of 2024, the US Surgeon General called for warning labels on social media products, much like what we see on cigarette packaging. And just to be clear, he can't take this action on his own. This would have to be something that Congress decides to do. But can you, I know we've covered some of them, but if you had to summarize some of the main harms of social media, and do you think social media in its current state should have warning labels?
Oh, yes, I definitely think it should have labels. And in terms of talking about harms, there's so many. Um, and it's just very individualized. I mean, I could just start listing them. You can get cyberbullied to hell. You can find just egregiously bad misinformation that can endanger your life. You can
Mhm.
lose sleep. I mean, sleep deprivation is huge. You can put people in a state of depression by just removing their ability to sleep, right? So sleep is just gargantuan. It's one of the most important biophysiological processes you could ever have. A sense of addiction. So like that can crop up in family where you're lying about how much time you're using on your phone, or you're breaking rules or whatever it is, and that can be a problem. Not having good coping strategies. So it's like the prolonging of an emotional problem because you're not engaging in problem solving coping. You're engaging in a form of emotional coping by avoiding your feelings, by distracting yourself on your phone. That's huge. Yeah, I mean, like, it's like an ultimate loneliness distractor. That's another thing. I don't know. Those are just kind of the things that are coming to mind. But social deprivation is another thing. If you're just spending a lot of time on your phone, you're not spending time with other people. Yeah, opportunity cost is extremely high. So if you're spending time on your phone, that in itself might not have harms. It can have harms if that time is then replacing things that are important, like sleeping, eating, being with other people, those kinds of things. Social comparison is one of the fastest ways to reduce people's well-being. I mean, I think they did with Sonia Libernitsky, right? The positive psychologist who studied happiness did a study, and they basically did a study where they tried to speed run making people miserable, and they gave people like an essay about what Mozart did when they were 4 and like some other child prodigy when they were 12, and then they had people write down what have you achieved when you were 4 years old? And then what did you achieve when you were 12? And like that exercise in social comparison was one of the most efficient and powerful ways that you could drop someone's well-being. Sonia Limanitsky is one of the most famous positive psychologists out there, and she wrote a book on like how to be happy, and it's like 12 different ways of being happy, right? And engaging with people, having good hobbies, these different things. All of the recommendations were things that you should do. The one thing that they recommended you should not do, the one thing, all right, is socially compare.